Yo, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mana Chamber. Welcome to Mana Chamber if it's your first time here. Really appreciate all of you coming around the video today. We're going to be doing a ranking video today from all of the possible commanders that you could possibly play with from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan commander decks. So some of these commanders are new. Some of these commanders are old. I'm going to rank them, compare them. We're going to find the best. We're going to find the worst. We're going to give them school grades, A, B, C, D, F tier. We're going to see what happens. If you would like to subscribe to this channel, I would really appreciate it. We do a lot of like Brawl-related content and Magic the Gathering Arena-related content on here. And then we also do ranking videos like this. I get a lot of viewers on these ranking videos that are different and new. So if you're here, I would just appreciate if you wanted to stick around and we could be pals. So let's get into this ranking video. Like 39 of these boys. Admiral Brass. A red, a black, a blue, and one human pirate. 3/3. Other pirates you control get +1/+1. At the beginning of your end step, gain control of target non-land permanent controlled by a player who has dealt combat damage by 3 or more pirates this turn. My buddy had a deck with this commander, and he hand built it himself. It wasn't a pre-con or anything, and it did okay. I feel like the 3 pirates getting combat damage by 3 pirates rule is a hefty stipulation on this, actually. So for my personal opinion, we're going to start off on a solid F tier. I mean, it's amazing the gain control, but I'm sorry. 3 pirates to hit is a big ask from what I've seen if you're hand building a pirate deck. Okay. It's Admiral Brass, unsinkable. A red, a black, a blue, and 1 human pirate. 3/3. When they enter the battlefield, you mill 4 cards at the beginning of combat on your turn. You may return target pirate creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It has base power and toughness 4/4, and it gains haste until the end of the turn. Now, my buddy bought the pre-con deck of the pirates when the Lost Caverns of Ixalan came out to update his pirate decks to make it viable. He uses this as the commander. Holy cow, is it way better now. This commander, pulling stuff, you're milling, you're pulling from the graveyard. It's a lot like that that enchantment deck. God, I don't remember her name. Commander Masters enchantment deck that turns enchantments into like zombies from the graveyard or something along those lines. Anyway, I'm giving it an A tier. Very, very powerful commander. So F tier for one, A tier for the other of, the pirates there. Got another pirate, different one, Breaches. Brazen Plunderer, a red, a 3. Goblin Pirate, 3/3 with Menace. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal combat damage to your opponent, exile the top card of each of those opponent's libraries. You may play those cards this turn, and you may spend mana as though or mana of any color to cast those spells. I think that's fun. I'm not opposed to this. The Menace helps you get through. I'm going to give it a B. I think that's fun. I think it's really fun. Captain Lannery's Storm, a red, a 2. Human Pirate, 2/2 with haste. Whenever they attack, you create a treasure. Whenever you sacrifice a treasure, she gets +1/+0 until the end of the turn. She's incredibly mediocre, honestly. Making the treasure fantastic, so we're going to go C tier. Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher. A black, a blue, a 3. Vampire Soldier, 2/2 with flying. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on her and gain a life. Whenever she attacks, return up to 1 target permanent card with mana value less than or equal to her power from your graveyard to the battlefield. Honestly, really powerful. Honestly, really good. Again, return things whenever a player sacrifices. That's any permanent, which is crazy. That can be treasures. That can be all kinds of stuff. This is A tier faux show. It's, oh God. Clavileño, First of the Blessed. Sure. A black, a white, a 1. Vampire Cleric, 2/2. Whenever you attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon becomes a demon in addition to its other types. It gains when this creature dies. Draw a card and create a tapped 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature token with flying. That's cool. I'm definitely not opposed to this. Potentially a little slow. At least you get some kickback I don't know. I think we'll throw this in the... we can go B tier. We can go B tier with that. It's fine. Making that flying demon's great. It's Don Andres, the Renegade. A red, a black, a blue, and 1 vampire pirate 4/3. Each creature you control, but don't own, gets +2/+2 and has menace and death touch, and is a pirate in addition to its other types. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell you don't own, create 2 tapped treasure tokens. This is cool and all, but you gotta have a lot of stuff to get other cards that you don't own under your control. So that's a solid F tier for me, I do believe. Unless I'm reading it wrong. Maybe it's really good as a commander. I don't know, but you got to put all those kinds of cards in your deck. Yeah, I suppose. I mean, there's a lot of them. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it'd be really fun as a commander. Actually, I'm gonna bump them up to a D. It's kind of cool now that I really think about it, because you got the gain haste spells with red, you got the gain control spells with blue, maybe even some reanimate spells with black from their graveyard. Interesting. Zana, Liberator of Malakar, 2 black and 1 vampire ally, 2/3 with flying, first strike. Whenever they deal combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on each attacking creature you control. Wow, that's pretty scary. Whenever they deal combat damage, and they have first strike, so you get +1s before they deal damage. Pretty dang good there. We're gonna go with B tier. Elenda, the Dusk Rose. A black, a white, and 2 vampire knight, 1/1 with lifelink. Whenever another creature dies, put a +1/+1 counter on here. Whenever she dies, create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is her power. More powerful than this guy. I feel like maybe he should have gone to C tier, so we'll put her in A tier to make up for it, I suppose. Emperor Mihail II, 2 blue and 1 Merfolk Noble, 3/3. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast Merfolk spells from the top of your library. Whenever you cast a Merfolk spell, you may pay 1. If you do, create a 1/1 blue Merfolk creature token. Actually, crazy powerful. Casting from the top of your library. Love that. You know what's coming. You can make extra creatures on cast. I'm down with this. This is A tier for me. It's a Tali, Primal Storm, 2 red and 4. Elder Dinosaur, 6/6. Whenever they attack, exile the top card of each player's library. They may cast any number of spells from among those cards without paying their mana cost. Everybody knows this is a great card. It's very expensive. Still a great card. That's the it. Is Francisco, Foul Marauder. A black, a white. Bird Pirate, 0/1. With flying. They can't block. Whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to a player, he explores. He's got partner. He can be your commander along with somebody else. You'd want a pirate commander. That's actually kind of fun. He explores, huh? So you can get some cards to your hand or get +1 counters. Kind of know what's coming. Everybody knows what's coming, though. That's the only downfall. Sheesh. That's interesting. We'll put this in C tier, I think. Ghost of Ramirez de Pietro. Blue and 2, Spirit Pirate, 2/3. He can't block, or he can't be blocked by creatures with toughness 3 or greater. Whenever he deals combat damage to a player, choose up to 1 target card in a graveyard that was discarded or put there from the library this turn. Put that card into its owner's hand. So what you want to discard things, you want to mill things, and you want to deal combat damage to get them back to your hand. Interesting take. I'm mediocre with it. We'll go C tier, I guess. Yeah, getting the extra cards is nice. It's Hackball of the Surging Soul. A blue, green, and 2 Merfolk Scout, 3/3. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each Merfolk creature you control explores. Okay. Whenever they attack, you may put a land from your hand on the battlefield. If you don't, draw a card. This is just ridiculously powerful. I don't know. That's going in A tier. That's nuts. It's Gary Zev, Skyship Raider. A red and 1 human pirate, 1/3 with first strike and menace. Whenever she attacks, create Ragavan, a legendary 2/1 red monkey creature token. He enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. Exile that token at the end of the combat. It's kind of like Barl and Kari Zev, but worse. That's what it comes down to. This is actually probably real low on the bucket list for me on this one. F tier. Coppola, Warden of Waves, 2 blue and 1. Merfolk Wizard, 2/2. Spells your opponent's control that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 colorless more to cast. Abilities your opponents activate that target a Merfolk you control cost 2 colorless more to activate. So a nice ward for all your Merfolk. There's really nothing wrong with this. We're going with C tier. Kumena, Tyrant of Orazka. Blue, a green, and 1. Merfolk, Shaman, 2/4. Tap another untapped Merfolk you control, and he can't be blocked this turn. Tap 3 untap Merfolk you control, and draw a card. Tap 5 of them, and put a +1/+1 counter on each Merfolk you control. I mean, this is cool. I think this is going to be B tier. I got no problems with it. It's fun. Malcolm, Keen-Eyed Navigator, a blue, a 2. Siren, Pirate, 2/2 with flying. Whenever one or more pirates you control deals deals damage to your opponent, create a treasure token for each opponent dealt damage. That's kind of fun. Can be partner too. One or more pirates. You want to partner with a pirate, deal damage. This could be fun. And you make treasure? I think I can chalk this up to B tier for now. I think that's a better partner, maybe. Mavren Fane, Dusk Apostle, a white and 2 vampire cleric, 2/2. Whenever one or more non-token vampires you control attack, create a 1/1 white vampire creature token with lifelink. I think this is really powerful, actually, especially with vampires because they're very swingy. I'm going to put this in A tier. Real powerful. Making lifelink vampires that you can block with off of attacks. Shoot. All right. Pantlaza, Sun Favored. A white, a green, a red, and 2. Dinosaur. Whenever him or another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may discover X, where X is that creature's toughness. Do this only once each turn. This is nuts, actually. One of the most powerful dinosaur commanders in existence. It is A tier, of course. Prime Speaker Zana, 2 blue, 2 green, and 2. Merfolk Wizard, 1/1. When they enter the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. And when they enter the battlefield, you draw cards equal to their power. Interesting. I'm mediocre with this one. X +1, where X is the greatest power among other creatures you control. She's 6-drop. So you're hopefully having a real big guy out. Draw a bunch of cards, refill your hand. Okay? Let's go C tier. Just a big drop. Ramirez de Petro, Pillager. A black, a blue, and 2. Human, pirate, 4/3. The undead one. Or the not dead one, I should say. Not undead. Not a zombie. Whenever he enters the battlefield, you lose 2 life and create 2 treasure tokens. Whenever one or more pirates you control deal combat damage to a player, exile the top card of that player's library. You may cast that card for as long as it remains exiled. Lose 2 life. Okay, I'm interested in that. I mean, you know, casting their cards is fun. Gotta get them through. It's interesting. I think for the treasures, we'll go C tier. Yes, it's... Oh, can I even say this? Gosh dang it. Svleilun of Sea and Sky. Yeah, let's go with that. 2 blue and 1. Merfolk. God. 3/4. They have indestructible as long as you control 2 other Merfolk. Whenever they attack, draw a card. Other Merfolk you control have ward 1. This is pretty good. I mean, whenever they attack, they can have indestructible. We'll go B tier. That's good. It's good for me. I'm down with it. Tatiova, Benthic Druid. A blue, a green, and 3. Merfolk Druid 3/3 with landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, gain life and draw a card. You know, just value pretty much. I think B tier on this as well. This is actually the one I think is the most interesting in the whole set. I don't know what it does, just the kind of creature it is. Tetzin, Gnome Champion, a white, a red, and a blue. A legendary artifact creature, kind of different than the rest, and it's a gnome, 2/2. Whenever him or another double-faced artifact enters the battlefield under your control, mill 3 cards. You may put an artifact card from among them into your hand. Interesting. Craft with 6 artifacts for 4 colorless, and he flips into the Golden Gear Colossus. Also a gnome, 6/6. with Vigilance and Trample. Whenever they enter the battlefield or attack, transform up to one other target double-faced artifact you control and create 2 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens. This is just fun to me. I'm not going to say it's great. Throw it in D tier. I'm actually super interested in both of these guys as commanders, thinking about this guy a little bit more. But are they better as commanders? I'm not sure. You could build them good. You can build any commander good. I truly believe any commander can be good. Thassa, God of the Sea, for a blue and 2. It's a god. Legendary enchantment creature. 5/5. With indestructible. As long as your devotion to blue is less than 5, they're not even a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, you scry one. You can pay a blue and 1, and target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. This is just true power. 3 drop on top of that. A tier. Jiminy Creaminy. Timothar, Baron of Bats. 2 black and 4, Vampire Noble, 4/4 with Ward of discard a card. Whenever another non-token vampire you control dies, you may pay 1 and exile it. If you do, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying, and it gains when this creature deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it and return the exile card to the battlefield tapped. Well, that's fun. You want to get the bats to hit for sure. It's interesting, a little expensive. We're going to go, man, I'm kind of convoluted on this. We're going to go D tier on this guy, I think. D tier. It's fun though. Like all of these I'm interested in. I'm more interested than most of the rest. That's kind of funny. Tishana, Voice of Thunder. A blue, a green, and 5 Merfolk Shaman with asterisk. Their power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your hand. You got no max hand size. When she enters the battlefield, draw a card for each creature you control. This is powerful. Big drop. Refill your hand. And she's buff. And you got a bunch of Merfolk, hopefully. As a commander. It's interesting. I think maybe C tier on that. Or the draw. Vona, Butcher of Megan, I don't know. A black, a white, and 3 Vampire Knight 4/4 with Vigilance and Lifelink. You can tap it to pay 7 life and destroy target non-land permanent. And you can only do this on your turn. Just a pay 7 life kill spell, and you gain 4 on every attack. Yeesh. Let's go B tier. Good. Real good. Vorel of the Hulklade. A blue, a green, and 1 human Merfolk 1/4 with, you can pay a blue and green, tap it, and double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. I'm either way with this. I mean, double it, great, that's great. You gotta pay 2 to do it. It's kind of tough. Let's go with D tier on that. Wada, Trainer, Prodigy. A white, a green, and red human warrior 1/5 with haste. You can pay a green and 2 and tap her, and target creature control fights another target creature. This ability costs 2 colorless less to activate if it targets 2 creatures you control. Interesting. If a creature you control being dealt damage causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. What a funky dunky commander. Super weird. We're going D tier for the weirdness, but man, another interesting one. Let me say. Xavier Sal, Infested Captain. A blue, a green, a black. It is a human fungus pirate 3/3. Tap it to remove a counter from another permanent you control. And you can populate. Activate only as a sorcery. That's nice. Tap it to sacrifice another creature and proliferate. Interesting. I like this guy, but potentially slow. We're going to do C tier, I think, on this one. Yeah, I guess. Xenagos, God of Revels. A green, a red, and 3 god. 6/5 with Indestructible. As long as your devotion to red and green are less than 7. Xenagos isn't even a creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, another target creature you control gains haste and gets +X/+X until the end of the turn, where X is that creature's power. Pretty powerful. I know this was a very powerful deck at one point in my, at least, personal history life understanding. Big drop, kind of, 5. Guess I'm going to go with C tier for Xenagos. Maybe you'll hate me for that. I don't know. Gosh dang it. Zolatiok, the Smiling Flood. A blue, a green, and 4 Salamander Serpent 6/6. Whenever they enter the battlefield or attack, put a flood counter on target land. That land is an island in addition to its other types for as long as it has a flood counter on it at the beginning of your end step. Tap each permanent you control with a counter on it. Super weird. So you can tap down their land or turn their lands into islands. Make it almost a waste. Could be good. You untap stuff that you have that have permanent or counters on it. Interesting. I'll give this a solid C tier as well for it just being kind of expensive to get out. But that's where I'm at with that. Henny, Undying Partisan, a black and 2 Etherborn Vampire 2/2 with haste. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, put a +1/+1 counter on him. Sacrifice another creature, and he gains indestructible until the end of the turn. I mean, when their creatures die, it's Is this as bad as these two? Not sure about that. We'll go with D tier. Zakama, Primal Calamity. A white, a green, a red, and 6 Elder Dinosaur 9/9 with Vigilance, Reach, Trample. When they enter the battlefield, if you cast it, untap all lands you control. You can pay a red and 2 to deal 3 damage to target creature. You can pay a green and 2 to destroy target artifact or enchantment. You can pay a white and 2 to gain 3 life. Super big and mean. Do literally all of those if you want in the one turn that it comes out. Just powerful. Everybody knows this is powerful. It probably belongs in the A tier even though it's super expensive. Do I even think it's as good as the things in the A tier? I'm really not sure it is. But we're going to put it in the A tier because it's probably pretty good. Zara, Renegade Recruiter. A red, a blue, and 3 Human Pirate 4/3 with haste. Whenever they attack, look at defending player's hand. You may put a creature card from it onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking that player or a planeswalker they control. Return that creature to its owner's hand at the beginning of the next end step. This is just fun. This is just a ton of fun to me. Is it amazing? Maybe. Maybe it is. I think I'll go B tier on this one. That's so fun. B for fun. Zana, Utopian Speaker. A blue, a green, and 2 Merfolk Wizard 4/4. When they enter the battlefield, if you control another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. You can pay a blue, a green, and 4, and adapt 4, which I don't know what that does, actually. It is. If this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Got it. Each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample, so it turns into an 8/8 trample for 6. Pretty interesting. You draw some cards. I'm going to say this is pretty weak, though, in comparison to a lot of the things here. We're going to go a D tier, I think. Yeah. The last one is a Talpa, Primal Dawn. 2 white and 6 Elder Dinosaur with flying and double strike and vigilance and trample and indestructible. Whoa, hey, it's a 4/8. It's kind of scary. It's a great card. Very expensive. As a commander, I mean, it's fine. It's really whatever. I don't know if it's even as good as any of these in the C tier. It's probably right alongside those in the C tier in all reality. As a commander itself. In the 99, fantastic. As a commander, I'm not going to say yes. So here's my list, my school grades. We got the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, and the flunkies, okay? That's just how it is. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you agree with my entire tier list? Is there guys up here that need to be down here? Is there guys down here that need to be more like up here? Tell me what you think in the comments. I'd love to know. So we're going to try to find the best and the worst here. We're going to go with the worst to begin with. And I'm pretty sure in my brain of brains, I do already know who the worst is. And in my opinion, it's Carrie Zev. Skyship Raider. Just really not that great in all reality. Really, it's not. For this set, to say the least. Which is, of course, the Commander decks from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So we're in a specific niche amount here. Anyway, we got to pick the best one now. There's some really good ones in here. but from the things that I've seen, from the things that I know, from the things that I understand, I think I know who the best is. I gotta look at one more here. There is a few good ones that I'm very interested in. Anyway, we gotta go with the best one that I know people in the back of their minds is thinking, you know, I know, we all know, Pantlaza, sun-favored man. On Arena, first of all, you can't even get this card in Arena. Really sad about that on its own, unless you go to like some commander event or something, and then you get like, I don't know, a code or something along those lines to get Pantlaza in Arena. Interesting. Really powerful. The fact that you discover X whenever him or another dinosaur enters, it's like pseudo cascade, but kind of better. So, I mean, it's Pantlaza. He's sun favored. You can't be better than being favored by the sun. All right, that's it. What do you think? Is that the best? Is there a better one in here? I was really leaning pretty hefty on, what is this, Hakal, I think is his name, the Merfolk. God, that's powerful too. Is this pirate worse than this pirate? Is she even pirate? I'm not sure about that either. Let me know. Let me know. So yeah, we're going to try to do some other tier lists here in the future. I would love to do basically all the commanders that continue to move. So don't be surprised if some of the ranking videos are really short, because it's like, you know, special guests from the Ixalan set of the commanders or things of those nature that are more in the card realm than the arena realm, which again, this channel is really pretty hefty focused on arena type content, but I'd love to continue to expand towards non-arena content as I grow and as the channel grows. And if you want to help and see that grow along and you enjoy this video, please subscribe to the channel if you're not. If you're around the area and you like the video too, I can give you an internet high five. So that's a lot of value there, I think. I appreciate you stopping by the video today, and I'll see you here in the next video, which maybe is Brawl if you're coming back around to watch it, or see you in the next ranking video later on.